So we have witnessed the first super over of the Indian Premier League's 18th edition. Welcome back to the match highlights, and like always in this video I'm going to be taking you through the key highlights of the 32nd game between the Delhi Capitals and the Rajasthan Royals. The two captains in Sanju Samson and Akshar Patel were there at the centre at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. The second game for the Delhi Capitals in their home at New Delhi. They played previously at the Visakhapatnam Cricket Stadium. The first two games were there. Now this was their second game at their second home ground at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. It was the Rajasthan Royals who won the toss and elected to field first. That's been the trend going in this IPL all throughout. There have been very less occasions where captains have won the toss and elected to bat first, and Sanju Samson, keeping in mind that Dew will be playing a very big role, he too decided to bowl first and put in the Delhi Capitals to bat first. The two openers in Abhishek Porel and Jake Fraser-McGurk came out to the centre, and they would have wanted to have and exploit the power play to the fullest. Abhishek Porel, who on the other end played the majority of the balls for the first half of the power play, he came all guns blazing, hit Tushar Deshpande for over 20 runs, 23 runs to be precise, in his over which he bowled inside the power play. On the other end, Jake Fraser-McGurk, who wasn't facing too many deliveries and has also been out of form, lots of people would have expected that maybe today staying on the other end might just give him a little more time at the pitch, and maybe today he can take that time and go on and score those big runs. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Another failure for the Australian batter. Seventh in a row now. He's played all 7 games for the Delhi Capitals so far and has failed to fire. And now some serious questions that the Delhi management needs to ask themselves as they go ahead and play the rest of the game. Do they need to make a serious call on Jake Fraser-McGurk, or now that we'll have to wait and watch? That do they finally take a call on him, or they persist with the young Australian batter? But then again, it was Karun Nair, the man in form, 89 terrific runs at the same venue last time around. What a day it was for him that time around. But today, without actually troubling the scorers, he had to return back, got run out. A little casual approach in coming back to the crease. But Sandeep Sharma, who was there, as soon as he collected the ball, he hit the stumps. To begin with, it did not look that he was run out. But maybe later on, Karun Nair would have been expecting that maybe he should have gotten in that dive. That would have definitely saved him. And maybe he would have continued the form that he showed last time around against the Mumbai Indians. Abhishek Porel continued to started to get a little slow, not the kind of strike the way he was striking the ball at the beginning of the power play, and he was now joined with another man in form in KL Rahul, and KL Rahul started to play a little. He started to get in the shell. He started to play. He did not take on the bowlers. He started to go for single doubles to an extent where in the middle overs Delhi were having a run rate of close to 6.5, at times even 7, but nothing in excess of that. Akshar Patel later even mentioned that they wanted them to accelerate in the middle overs, but the batters who were there in the centre in Abhishek Porel and KL Rahul clearly stated that the wicket isn't easy to bat on in the middle overs, and only the batters who are set can actually play the spinners well. Otherwise the ball was stopping a bit, and that's why KL Rahul and Abhishek Porel continued to strike the bowlers and continued to take those single doubles, maybe making the acceleration a little late. But then the two had to return back in KL Rahul and Abhishek Porel. Abhishek Porel for 49, KL Rahul for 38. Both not too impressive as far as the strike rate was concerned, but they did dig in their feet in the middle and did score those crucial runs that later on became really crucial for the Delhi Capitals. But in the final overs, it was Akshar Patel and Tristan Stubbs who gave the final blows. They made sure that the runs that were not coming in the middle overs, in the last 4 to 5 overs, those big runs start to come and they start to exploit the conditions. They started to take on the bowlers. As soon as fast bowlers were back into action, they started to take them on and hit those big 6s and 4s later on. But then Akshar Patel was the man who had to go back to the pavilion. Although good runs after a long time, he has really contributed with the bat for the Delhi Capitals. Did not come at number 4, came at number 5 today. promoted a Tristan Stubbs, but Tristan Stubbs, on the other hand, made sure that he gives the final blows to the Delhi Capitals with Ashutosh Sharma, who scored. He came just last in one, just the one boundary for him, but in tandem with Tristan Stubbs, he made sure that the Delhi Capitals at least reach to a total that did give a chance to their bowlers, Tristan Stubbs, giving that final blows, and Delhi somehow managed to get to 188, which looked below par at the mid-inning score. The two knocks in between by KL Rahul and Abhishek Purell sort of maybe could have been a little more quicker in that sense, and Delhi could have started to accelerate over prior to actually what they eventually did, and maybe that is why Delhi Capitals were 10 to 12 runs at least short from what a par score could have been here. What the Delhi Capitals needed were early wickets if they wanted to cover this gap of the 10 to 12 runs that they would have had. If they wanted to cover that, they needed early wickets, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Sanju Samson and on the other hand Yashasvi Jaiswal came out with one intention, and that intention seemed to be to finish the game as soon as possible, even before 20 overs, and utilize as much possibility and as much as possible in the middle overs, in the power play with the new ball. They went all guns blazing. They continued to play their shots. It really dominated. The Delhi Capitals had no answer whatsoever. They got in spinners in the power play. Fast bowlers weren't doing well either. So Delhi had really had no option. But then a blessing in disguise for the Delhi Capitals. Sanju Samson, who was definitely striking the ball pretty well, had to return back. He wasn't out, but he was retired out. He did feel a cramp in his back. Not too sure about. We don't know much about this injury as of now, but definitely he, moving ahead, would want to get fit back because he's already missed the first 3 games as a captain, and now wouldn't want to do that moving ahead either. So he had to go back after a well-made 30, and then Yashasvi Jaiswal was joined by, but before that Riyan Parag came in the middle, and Riyan Parag again just 8 runs of the 11 deliveries that he played, again failing to score those big runs. Hasn't really stepped up in the IPL so far. Some concerns for him as well. But then Yashasvi Jaiswal and Nitish Rana started to take on the bowlers. The chase that was looking on track for the Rajasthan Royals, maybe even to finish even before time, that started to look even more predominant. They started to strike the bowlers even more quicker. Nitish Rana in specific looked in tremendous touch. In the meanwhile, Yashasvi Jaiswal got to his half century as well. 3rd half century for the young batter, who was struggling to find his form to begin with in the tournament. But ever since that first half century that he got, he has really not looked back and has continued to score runs. But then within no time, 51 is all Yashasvi Jaiswal had to score. He had to go back to the pavilion, but the job was already done for the Rajasthan Royals. It looked like that the game was well done because Yashasvi Jaiswal really gave that start. Nitish Rana continued to play his shots, but then he was given a lifeline by Tristan Stubbs, a catch which could have been taken straight going in between the hands of Tristan Stubbs. And then Nitish Rana realized that maybe till now, because he wasn't firing, he now realized that I've gotten a lifeline and I need to make the most of it. And that's exactly what he did. He started to take on the spinners after that. Homeboy of Delhi, Nitish Rana, unfortunately or fortunately, playing against the Delhi Capitals at his home ground itself, against the home team from the opponent side, knew the ground really well and made the most of it. He continued to really explore. He then eventually got out, but he had definitely laid the platform for the Rajasthan Royals finishers to come out and just finish the game off for them. And that's exactly what the Rajasthan Royals and the Delhi Capitals would have expected in the middle. Dhruv Jurel giving those final blows. He wanted to make sure that he takes the team over the line. With him was a Shemron Hetmeyer as well. Both of them tried to get closer and closer to the total. The 19th over, when the equation seemed like 24 of the last 2 overs, it looked like Delhi Capitals have come back into the game. In the middle overs, the Rajasthan Royals weren't able to accelerate much. It looked like the Delhi are back in the game, but in that over again 13 runs were given by Mohit Sharma, and now in the last over it was time for Mitchell Starc, who had to defend 9 runs in that last over, and boy oh boy, he stepped up on the biggest occasion. He got the equation down to 2 runs required of the one delivery, and he made sure that the game did not end, and Delhi suddenly from somewhere just defeated just snatched the victory from the jaws of defeat for the Delhi Capitals. And he made sure that Delhi Capitals, the dream wasn't just yet over, and Delhi still had a chance to win this game and reach at the top of the points table. For the Rajasthan Royals, it was now time for the super over. For the Rajasthan Royals, it was Riyan Parag and Shimron Hetmeyer who came out for that super over. They started off with a couple of boundaries, but then Mitchell Starc. I'll just before that take you through the scorecard of the Rajasthan Royals as well. 51 for Jaiswal, 51 for Nitish Rana, and 15 not out for Shimron Hetmeyer. 26 crucial runs by Dhruv Jurel, resulting into a super over as well. But just getting back to the super over, like I mentioned, couple of boundaries from Riyan Parag and Shimron Hetmeyer to begin with. It looked like that Delhi might concede runs in excess of 12, but then again the sheer brilliance of Mitchell Starc, who was bowling his back-to-back over after the final over he bowled the super over as well. He made sure that the Rajasthan Royals are stopped for just 11 runs because courtesy one run out and one wicket that he took off even Riyan Parag getting run out, he restricted the Rajasthan Royals to 11. And now all Delhi needed to get on the top of the points table and become the first team to have points in double digits. It was just 12 runs. And for the Delhi Capitals, it was KL Rahul and Tristan Stubbs who came out to bat. KL Rahul, to begin with, hit a 4 on Sandeep Sharma, hitting him over point, and gave the strike to Tristan Stubbs when 5 runs were required of the next 3 balls. And Tristan Stubbs just finished the game with a beautiful 6. So he pulled the ball. Sandeep Sharma bowled a slower bouncer, and very clearly and very comfortably Tristan Stubbs hit that over mid wicket for 6. And that was the moment when Delhi registered their 5th win of this Indian Premier League and reached at the top of the points table. And this is how the points table looks like now. 10 points for the Delhi Capitals. They have now won 2 close games. The first one against the Lucknow Super Giants. One more today, going down to the wire in the super over. A game that was almost lost for the Delhi Capitals. They came back and won, and that's the reason they have been absolutely separated from the rest of the points table, from the teams in the tournament. 10 points, and now it looks like almost a certainty that they might just be going in the playoffs, as they just need to win a couple of more games to secure themselves a place in the in the final 4 of the tournament. What a game and what a night we have had. The last couple of days have absolutely been terrific for all the IPL fans and all the cricketing fans across the globe. A great game, but now a lot of questions on how the disparity between points between the top 4 and the bottom 4 is going to start, as we are now closing in on the business and at the midpoint of this Indian Premier League. You can let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, but for now that is all that I've got for you. If you haven't subscribed to Sports Today till now, do not forget to press the subscribe button. If you like this video, do give us a like, share it with all your friends, and do not forget to press the bell icon so that as soon as we are live or there's any interesting content coming your way, you guys come to know first.